So the microphone. Hello everyone, I'm Vadim Kadyrov. I have no connection to the president, but still. Marketing and getting payments from foreign clients, two main aspects of translator freelancer activities. I can avoid foreign clients, but I made an emphasis on foreign clients because I think many attendees of this conference want to work with foreign clients and agencies. Now Oleg Krudavin already presented. He started in 2001 when the field was, in his opinion, very easy to get access to. I started working with foreign clients in 2010. Then it was an overcrowded market, especially our language pair, English to Russian, Russian to English, and it was very difficult to gain access to that. But still, what is marketing? Marketing, in simple terms, that's only a search for clients. The clients corresponding to us, we want to see them. First of all, Oleg Krudavin already read a great speech. What is freelance? Freelance is a lifestyle. If it suits to you or doesn't suit to you, and if it doesn't suit to you, you should understand it, and you should go from that field. Because freelance is really a lifestyle, indeed. It's a responsibility. The responsibility is higher than the office position. You cannot submit your order after the deadline because your client will just stop cooperating with you, and you should look for other clients, and it's very difficult, maybe 6 times more difficult to get a new client than to keep connection to the former one. So where we start freelance, in my opinion, is that you should provide your savings for 3-6 months of ordinary life. That's a tip of all books, manuals for freelancer. For me, it's a partner with income, my wife. She works. When I was starting, the situation was like that. I'm not ashamed of that. Of course, we have some rainy funds, some savings, and later we go to the situation when we have to define our client. Oleg Krudavin already mentioned that we are partners with our clients, and this street goes 2 ways. The ideal variant, you choose a client and not the client selects you. You choose your rates, terms of payment, countries, because there are countries where it's really difficult to work with and it's expensive for you to work with. And specialization, direct client or an agency, you should define for yourself with whom you would like to work, because if you don't know with whom you would like to cooperate, you will work with everyone, and at the same time that would be various clients, good clients, bad clients, but it will be a mixture. You cannot get from this circle where you will be as a hamster running around. That's how we act. We act efficiently or inefficiently in terms of marketing. In general, as I already said, it's easier to keep your client, your old client, than to find a new one. If you lose your client, that's a very bad situation. You have to invest 6 times more efforts to find a new one. So the most efficient strategy is to keep to your client's terms and to keep him or her. So to behave yourself in such a good way that he or she will not leave you. So you should promise something and do more than you actually promise, because you really inspire your client with your performance, because it tells that you make a translation of high quality and you give high quality translations to your clients. So the most important thing is to work with the clients you have already. You should ask more jobs, more references from them. The other efficient marketing strategy, the second one, is to work with your colleagues who know you already. Maybe you have some network already of colleagues, not translators maybe, but those people who know that you are a good translator, you are a good performer, and they may advise you to their colleagues, to their clients. That's a network, and you expand your network, and at the end of the day you are getting new clients. That's very efficient as well. It's not really effort consuming or time consuming as a direct mail. And the third marketing strategy, efficient as well and not time consuming, that's a direct mail. In Russian we may call it as a point contact to those potential clients who you selected deliberately, either online or offline, on some conference, on some exhibition. So you directly connect to people 100% or 99% interested in your service. That's the three very efficient marketing strategies. Inefficient marketing strategies that are really time consuming in addition to that. These are vague contact with translation companies that do not maybe understand what is translation. That is spam, really, and inefficient as well. The participation in social networks that are not really reliable, that just emerged. What is inefficient is, from my own experience, from the practice, it's not really efficient to register online or offline in different directories and portals. For instance, PROS itself, I don't have any problems with that, but its efficiency is quite low. If you just register there and sit in there and waiting for the wind to blow, it brings no success to you. That's in terms of marketing strategy.
So the rule of thumb is to brainstorm regularly and to search for new marketing strategies. Personally, I just take a sheet of paper once a month, twice a month, and I just write down my ideas. What are the possible options of promoting my business on the web, for example? For example, I had an idea to kill my clients. Competitors, I'm sorry. It's a silly thought, isn't it? Of course, nobody's going to do it, but that's a thought, though. So, if we don't treat the word kill literally, we'll get an interesting idea. So, kill off my competitors, I mean, making myself more interesting to the client as opposed to my competitors. So, these are just paper and pencil games. So we aspire for perfection. That is not much to say about it. You must have a flawless CV. Client cards must be without errors. Professional profile in social media platforms. There's nothing to add in here. Mobile or mobility is a must, in my view. You have to have a smartphone. You have to have web email clients. It's better to reply to client promptly rather than in an hour or in a couple of hours and maybe lose an order. In my experience, I've lost a couple of €1,000 because of that. Even though the customers I was working with, they were ready to wait, but for some reason I replied late. Well, that is another talk. Ideally, that the customer would wait for you for a couple of hours and maybe a day. So to the very least, for the beginning translator, they absolutely need smartphone. It is unethical in an age of email and messengers reply to your message after an hour, for example. Stand out from the crowd. It's a blog, a website, social media conference. It's my first presentation at a conference, so I try to leave my comfort zone. Obviously, learn to refuse from the project. Allegra Devin has been saying this for years. Saying no is really important, refusing, and it's better than agreeing and then just die under the burden of this order. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. The 33%, let us say 30, okay? You have to have three sources, income sources at the same time. It's a myth that your monthly load is good. While you're doing this project for a whole month, you'll refuse your other clients. You won't do anything for marketing, for searching for better clients. So there's not that much good for working for the whole month for a single client, in my view. We all know that we have feast of famine periods, so the slack when it's famine, not that much orders to have. When you think that we'll never get a phone call, not a single email, that happens. Everybody experiences this from time to time. But you may think it's funny, but you have to read success stories that people at the very bottom, but they succeeded, and then you'll feel better after you've read these materials. If you have much work, breathe in, enjoy it, and just have fun. Learn your lessons. That concerns any kind of negative situation. The dark aspects always ends. There always comes a day after night, and therefore any kind of crisis is an opportunity to learn something and understand what were your mistakes and what can be improved. Don't stay in the same spot. Competitors are there at your heels. Slave labor is inefficient. The companies that pay low wages, they often don't understand that their revenues are little as well, because this kind of labor is extremely inefficient. Try to get rid of the clients that don't pay much or give too stringent terms in terms of payment terms, etc. Steer clear of those clients. For each person, has his own rate, has his own limit. For example, I don't understand if the payment date is longer than 30 days, and I totally can't bear the clients and the work when the payment is being delayed, even if it's 1 day after 30, 45 days, because it's a kind of alarm. The client is bad, he's going to misbehave further. So keep asking for order confirmation. If you are uneasy to do it now, feel it, but then you'll have the guarantee of good cooperation in the future. Later, you'll be working with this client very cohesively, because he knows that you'll keep asking questions and you'll know that he understands you. Zero tolerance to payment delays, that's true even for 1 day. We don't need those kinds of client. We know from experience that they delay, they don't pay much. Today they delay it for a day and tomorrow for 10 days and so on. So these kinds of clients you'd have to weed out of your base by attracting new, better quality clients. Well, quality service, that's clear. And also a tip with payment delays. Customers who delay their payments, who don't pay much, they usually are very demanding. Format it, reformat it, read from those difficult formats, etc. avoid clients with uncomfortable payment methods and those who demand discount on volume. Discount on volume means that you'll be working for 20 days, you'll abandon all your other clients, or you have to put them up, having no opportunity to find new clients. Probably your family will suffer as well. So volume is a very feeble, unclear revenue payment method. Well, again, bank transfer is classics, but there are other ways, Payoneer, Skrill, etc. Well, in general, they're quite handy. Why refuse using them if it's okay both with the customer and the client? I don't really understand why is that, but if they demand PayPal, which is a problem of monetizing in Ukraine, and basically it's impossible to turn into cash in Ukraine, and if your client insists on using PayPal, so probably you don't need this kind of customer. So have as many payment methods as you can, probably any kind of payments method. If it doesn't cost you too much money, why not use it? So the next point is very demonstrative one. So if he refuses to pay, never agree with the situation, never be complacent. I had cases when people were refusing to pay and it did not depend on the clients. One of the clients disappeared, but I tracked him down the social media and I wrote to her husband, "Where is your wife with the money?" Well, I see maybe there's been some kind of trouble or emergency. Because she broke the condition of our contract, I felt free I felt it was okay to write to her husband. Why is that? Well, I wrote a very polite letter, but anyway. And the last bit is to weed out unreliable customers regardless of the rates and the money they pay you. There are several laws that happens. So for months, this is where the rainy day fund comes in again. So you have to know that you have the backup money for 1, 2, or up to 5 months, that you have something to eat and to buy clothes on. So keep your chin up. That's it.
Thank you very much, Vadim, for a great presentation and great tips. Now we will do the other presentation for speakers, maybe several minutes. And if you have questions or maybe you are not, you have other opinion, you can voice it now quickly and peacefully. Okay. Many people are smiling because answering in 1 hour, maybe something bad will happen if you not reply before 1 hour. But there is a way of keeping business as a freelancer. Maybe one time a day, checking the email, and it's more profitable than doing it all the time. The gold will not sail away from you. Only the sand will go to the sea. It was checked already, and there are people who have this ideology. I agree with you, but I think that the time of my reply is prolonged. We started, maybe not all of us. PROS is a system which is familiar to all of us. I went away from that, but not at the moment, not immediately. But for me, it's better ethically to reply the potential client or consumer immediately. I'm not speaking about the ethics. Of course, it's I'm very glad when I get an answer immediately. But yeah, the client is surprised. It's a pleasant surprise, and it's a good bonus for you. In any case, it's an advantage. It's rather an advantage rather than disadvantage. So if you reply only with a short note, maybe let's discuss it in detail maybe later, it will be better. Your client will be glad than if you answer immediately and not in 2-3 hours, or for instance tomorrow maybe the client will give this order to another translator.